Namaha. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namne Namah. Acharya Padaya Nitai Krupa Pradayine Gaurakatha Dhamadaya Nagara Gramatarine. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namne. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshtarne. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Shri Shri Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shri Shri Lakshmi Narsinga Devananta Dev Bhaktaraj Prahlad Maharaj Balaji Shri Devi Bhudevi Lakshmi Devi Jai Harinam Sankirtan Mahayagna Ki Jai Jagat Guru Patit Pavan Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. I want to thank Krishna Nama Ananda Prabhu. I want to thank all the others who have logged in today. Abhay, Anit Kumar Prabhu, Bojraj Soni, Chaya, Devan Soni, Roshan, Rajiv, Panjia, the others, I can't figure out their names. So thank all of them. So I'm grateful to you that you're giving me an opportunity to thank you for meditate. Thank you. Giving me an opportunity to think intensely about my Guru Maharaj. And whatever it is, share a little bit that I feel, or over the last few years, whatever different experiences I've had, maybe speak about one or two of them which come to my mind. So there was a time when sometime during his last visit to Hyderabad, when Guru Maharaj visited Hyderabad, there was one lady who put her hand up towards the end of the class and said, I have a question, Guru Maharaj. Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
You're fine.
Yep.
Fine. Yeah. So put up her hand and said, can I have a question? And then I was doing the translation. She was asking in Telugu and I was translating to English. So she said, Guru Maharaj, I'm a big fan of yours. I think your service to Prabhupada, you have served him in an exceptionally wonderful manner. And not just during the time when Srila Prabhupada was there, that's pretty so clearly evident even after Prabhupada has left this planet. The way you have your sincerity, your loyalty, your enthusiasm was so heart-touching and exemplary. And then she said, you've been going on so many years. I keep admiring you, and my respect and admiration for you is only growing over the years. I want to know what's the secret. Mataji class undi. Rep matladu. Reprandi matladu. I want to know what's the secret. And then she said something very significant. She said, I'm very sure you must have pleased Prabhupada so much during the time he was there, and even now you must be pleasing Prabhupada. You know what, Guru Maharaj, I also want to please you. I also want to do something extraordinary in your service like you have done. Maybe someday I hope I'll also be able to please you. Like that, she said. And then Guru Maharaj thought about that question for a while, and then he gave one of those really unusual but deeply profound reply. He said, I'm actually very grateful to you. He looked at her and said, I'm grateful to you you feel that during the time I served Prabhupada, I might have pleased him, or I must have pleased him a lot. That's what you think. I also think that all these years my service must have pleased Prabhupada. Then you know what Gurmat said? Gurmat said, this sentiment you're expressing actually touches my heart. That you think I've succeeded in pleasing Prabhupada. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. All I know is I just kept trying. I just kept trying. Everything that Prabhupada told me, I kept trying to do. Even now, though it's not very easy for me in this body, but I keep trying in the hope that someday I'll please Prabhupada. In this fond hope that someday I'll be able to please Prabhupada. But you feel that I've already pleased, so I'm very grateful to you for the sentiments you're expressing. And then he said something like, I've just, there have been different types of times I've been through, tough times, this and that. I can't think of any time in my life when I wanted to give up wanting to serve Prabhupada, give up serving Prabhupada, not wanting to do it under any circumstances. So his mood was that if you think I have served and pleased Prabhupada, I'm actually very grateful to you. But as far as I'm concerned, all I know is I've only tried. Whether Prabhupada is pleased or not, I don't know. I'm still trying, though it's not so easy in this body. I mean, for me, it was like, if there's anybody in this world who can claim to have served Prabhupada tirelessly, was offered every breath of his life in the service of Prabhupada, it is him. It's not just me, the whole world acknowledges that. Now, whole world recognizes, appreciates, worships him for that one single quality, and honors him for that, for his dedication to Prabhupada, for his loyalty to Prabhupada. But look at his heart. He's thinking that, I don't know if I've tried to serve. I don't know if I've pleased Prabhupada, though I always wanted to. Maybe, but I continue to serve in the hope that someday I'll please him. So he's like, this whole, brouhaha that goes on, nothing has stuck on him or his heart. He's amazingly enthusiastic. He's always looking at what more I could do for Prabhupada, what more I should be. In what other ways I should serve Prabhupada. Or maybe in his mind he's also thinking how much more I could have served. I'm not at liberty to say exactly what's going on in his mind, but we can conjecture, you can kind of infer. But he's surprisingly, they say sometimes devotees are in certain aspects very simple and very so he had the whole room stunned into silence as he was speaking this. I was translating and I had difficulty translating. I said, how can anybody be like this? For the last 53 years or whatever, from 1968 up to now, that would be 55 years. From the time he walked into ISKCON, he's been a picture, or he's been a person who's loyal, who's enthusiastic, who's tirelessly dedicated and offering, actually his services of the highest quality and caliber. We all do services, many of us do, but we're in many ways we are small-minded. We want that I factor in our service to be very, whatever prominent I want to do, I have to do, But for him, his service, when he's doing service, there are two things in his mind, I feel. One is looking at Prabhupada and Prabhupada's mission and mood. Second is thinking how I can connect more people to Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. how I can be a vehicle. How can I connect them to Prabhupada's lotus feet? How can I help them? How can I support them? How can I serve them? Serve all the people of this world and connect them to Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. Is there something more I can do? Is there something else I can do to connect them with Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada? So he had the whole room stunned into silence when he said this. So to me,
Prabhu, you are on mute. Varada Krishna, Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Good.
So, what is it? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, how can I connect more people to Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya's service? How I can be of some service in bringing more people and offering them to Prabhupada? So that was his mood. That was the way he was thinking. There's another very heart-touching pastime that I was somehow, it's not, I mean, accidentally I was a part of that whole Leela that manifested here in Bangalore and Chennai. So Guru Maharaj has written that very famous song called Jodi Prabhupada No Rotyo. I'm sure all of you have heard that song. I presume all of you have heard that song. It's an amazing song that he has written. What if Prabhupada had not been there? That's a nice song. So we here in Bangalore, we took it up as a project. We thought, let's present this song in Kannada, which is a local language here. Local language where I serve here presently, Bangalore. So what we did was we got one of the best lyricist of Karnataka. Many people probably, if you're from Karnataka and you're a little familiar with Kannada literature, etc., would have heard his name. His name is Professor Doddarange Gowda. I mean, I don't know where all you people are logging in from. I can't make out. So there was one gentleman called Professor Doddarange Gowda here, very famous man, professor, author, scholar, historian, lyricist, poet, etc. Very famous man, Professor Doddarange Gowda. So we very hesitatingly went to him and we said, we have a project like this. So we want you to translate this song into Kannada, this Yadi Prabhupada no Hite. Give a Kannada version of it, which can be sung, which can become popular, which can be sung and like that. He liked that challenge when we explained about Guru Maharaj, and sweet man, little elderly, but very lively person. So Professor Doddaranga Gowda got down and he sat down with us, and then we got hold of a team to compose the music. And that person also is a very famous musician. It scored music for more than 100 movies. So we got hold of him, and Professor Doddaranga Gowda was the lyricist and he was a music composer, and we were all sitting there, and we actually went through the whole exercise of composing a song at the same time preparing the music, like they do for movies. They like exactly like how they do for movies. So we took this song Jodi Prabhupada No Hoite and gave the charana and the pallavi, and the charana is a paragraph and the pallavi is the portion that repeats itself. Like they keep singing Jodi Prabhupada No Hoite at the end of each paragraph. So we kind of figured out different things, and then at the same time the music. It was an interesting exercise. I don't want to go into that part. I want to get into the part where Guru Maharaj gets involved into this. So translation is done. We got a first cut of the lyrics. And we took it to Guru Maharaj. That time he was recuperating in Chennai, just around the time that he had his kidney transplant surgery. So we went and met him, and I kind of read out the song for him. He heard the song, he made some comments. He liked some portion. He wasn't too okay with the rest of it. So we came back here, and then we spoke to these people. Again, we had 2-3 sessions composing, revising, editing, composing the music, writing the lyric. And then lo and behold, suddenly Guru Maharaj came to Bangalore. So when he came to Bangalore, I requested all of these people. And then we had a mock session in front of Guru Maharaj, where Guru Maharaj was staying in that house. The music director, the musician, the singers, the chorus singers, the lyricist, everybody in front of Guru Maharaj, and they sang and he would correct, and they sang and he would change. And so we thought we had done this. We have concluded, we have finished this. So 8 paragraphs, we went para by para, and then that was it. We kind of froze the whole thing, and then he wanted some changes. Actually, I called this pastime the story of the 9th para. The original Yaji Prabhupada Hoite song has 8 paragraphs. But I call this pastime the story of the 9th para. So we thought we had done with it. And then again, after all the editing, I went back to Chennai and read out. And then I saw his expression change a little bit. Then I asked him, what's up? You seem to be hesitating to tell me something. You want to tell me, but you seem to be hesitating. Then Guru Maharaj said, actually, Yadi Prabhupada no hoite is a little, incomplete. I was surprised. I said, incomplete? In what way? Then Guru Maharaj said, he didn't speak for a long time. I was waiting, just sitting in the corner of the room. And then after some guests came in and out, and all that happened in Chennai temple, I was just sitting in one corner on the floor, just kind of waiting for him. Then suddenly he looked at me and said, you know what, there's something more I want to say about Prabhupada. I just jumped onto my feet and said, Guru Maharaj, what do you mean by that? I said, and what is that? What is it you want to say? This happened sometime in 2017 or something, 17 or maybe 18, something, 17, 18. Yeah, maybe I guess 2018. So by then Prabhupada had passed away. It was 41 or 42 long years after Prabhupada had passed away. Then Guru Maharaj, his mood changed. He became a little grave. He became very thoughtful. And again, he didn't say anything, but I could make out that he's meditating on. And then he suddenly looked at me and he said, actually, this song, this Yadi Prabhupada Hoite does not actually convey how much I miss Prabhupada. I was startled. I said, what was that again? Then he said, doesn't say how much I miss Prabhupada now. It took me a while to understand what he said. I mean, my mind was racing. I said, it's been 41 long years since Prabhupada passed away. And Guru Maharaj actually said, how much I miss him now. I said, what's he saying? What's he saying? How can someone... I mean, we know about time and different things and different types of energy in this world. People lose their loved ones, and sometimes in weeks, sometimes in months, sometimes a year. It's in the worst case scenario, 1 year, 2 years. We tend to forget. Or, I can't say forget, but that memory fades away. Other things become prominent in our mind. It can be your wife, husband, whatever, other things become prominent. I mean, generally speaking, 99.9999% of the time, something else, because we have our struggles, our likes, and we shift. Time has that kind of an impact on us. Here's that man, here is this great personality who's saying, it doesn't convey how much I miss Prabhupada now. I said, man, I mean, are you trying to say that I mean, I don't know. I said, you need to explain a little more. Then he waved his hand, his expressive hand, with his left hand, and said, uh, I actually miss Prabhupada. I miss everything about him. I miss everything that happened. I mean, he kind of choked up. His voice couldn't come out. And then he said that it was different then when Srila Prabhupada was physically present. But then he said something like, um, he said something like, I can't, I mean, whatever I do is so much for him or something. And he said, this song doesn't convey that. Yadi Prabhupada Navaitya doesn't convey that. Then I asked him, Maharaj, are you telling me you want to add another paragraph in this song, which captures the fact that how much you miss Prabhupada today, what you feel for him today, how much you miss his association, his whatever, his darshan, his chastisement or whatever, how much you miss him. Is that what you want to convey? I'm in a class. Should I call you after the class? I mean, you wanted to add another paragraph, and Maharaj looked at me and said, try doing it if you can. Try doing it. So I was like, I mean, let me tell you something. In these matters, it has never stopped surprising me the way Guru Maharaj catches us by revealing his heart or revealing what's going on in his mind, revealing about his Guru, Prabhupada, what is the intensity and depth of that relationship. He has never ceased to amaze me, never ceased to surprise me. Like this whole thing, 41 years, after 42 years, Srila Prabhupada passed away. Here is this Acharya who's saying how much I miss Prabhupada. And I mean, the whole philosophy of his life was out in that those few lines that he said, that how much he cares for Prabhupada, Prabhupada's words, Prabhupada's presence, Prabhupada's service, Prabhupada's association. Maybe he even misses being occasionally chastised mildly by Prabhupada. Lovingly, I don't want to say mildly, lovingly chastised by Srila Prabhupada. I don't know what. But here is his great personality who's defeated time. Because time, in one sense, fades out all emotions. I'm sure you all agree. It kind of fades out. It kills all emotions. But here's this person this great Acharya who's saying, I miss Prabhupada. In other words, I've not come to terms with the fact that Prabhupada is no longer physically present with me today. I miss him. Then I asked him, Guru Maharaj, I'm going back to Bangalore today. And I'll take it that we should try and add another paragraph. And this will be the 9th paragraph of this song, where we'll try and capture. Guru Maharaj, I told him, I know it's not possible. It's not possible to convey what you have indicated to me, but we'll try and put it in words. We'll try and capture that emotion in words about how much you miss Prabhupada. And then I asked him, do we have your permission that when we record this song, we will record the last paragraph a little differently. We'll make the singer sing in a very, a little bit of an emotional way and in a very sentiment is not the right word. In a very, with feeling when you miss someone, when you miss someone so near and dear. Guru said, yes, try that. So we came back. Then I'd call these people, the author, the poet, the musician. And we sat down and explained what happened. Actually, that took a long time to understand, in the sense that they were telling me that this is, I've never seen a person like that. After they met him also, they told me, I've never seen anybody like this. 42 years, you say, Prabhupada passed away. Here's somebody who's living that memory of his presence, who's carrying that presence in his heart so strongly, so prominently. And actually, over the years, maybe it has become stronger and more deep and more intense, his feeling for Prabhupada. So they said, we're just going to try and put it in words. How can words capture that kind of a feeling? We'll just try and put it in words. So they worked again, and then they came up with that paragraph. We call it the 9th paragraph of the Sadguruve Prabhupada. The title of the song in Kannada is Sadguruve Prabhupada. And they composed this paragraph, and we got a singer to sing this, and he sings it in a very deep, heart-touching way, the last paragraph. And after that, he breaks into the Hare Krishna mantra. And even when he sings the Hare Krishna mantra, he sings it with so much feeling and intensity. So we did a mock recording, and then we went back to Guru Maharaj and played it out for him. And well, we tried in our own small way to capture Guru Maharaj's. How can you capture an ocean of feelings? Depth is like an ocean in words, but we can just try. So that was an amazing experience for all of us, not just me. Many of us here were involved in that project, doing that song. I mean, it's like sometimes Krishna does that, I guess, to reveal to us the real heart of a devotee. Heart of a devotee. What is the... We just...
Varada Krishna Prabhu. Your screen froze. Hare Krishna Prabhu, we're waiting. Yeah, I think it got dropped off internet. Varada Krishna Prabhu, he joined. Go ahead. Go ahead, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My phone got overheated. It just kind of switched off.
No problem, Prabhu. Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Though I'd like to believe that the phone is also, in one way, paying homage to Guru Maharaj. We're talking about Guru Maharaj very respectfully. The phone is showing some. I mean, whatever. That's said in lighter. So basically, here is what we were thinking about is my whole team which worked with me or with whom I worked here was so deeply influenced. Uh, so so that's how the song came out. We released it, and it's there on YouTube today. You can hear that, and it has 9 paragraphs instead of 8. Uh, so it's become an incredible story, the story of the 9th paragraph. So Gurmaj came here, and later on he honored the teacher. I mean, honored the poet and all of them. So that's how we did this project. So basically, another startling thing about Guru Maharaj was that uh, way back in 2000, 2001 or 2, um, when this whole Ritvik thing happened in Bangalore, and some part of the temple kind of broke away and started their own thing. So Prabhupada, I mean, Guru Maharaj was there in the thick of the things, and before that, he had told Madhu Pandit that, Bangalore, there seems to be so much potential for opening centers, making devotees. And look at your temple, how it has happened. It's such a remarkable project. So much support you got from the people of Bangalore. And I think we should have many more centers here. You should work on opening more centers here. Like that, he would say, he gave a whole vision of how temple should be there. After that whole breakup happened, it seemed like, we would have to probably scale down our image, scale down our expectations of what we can achieve in Bangalore and what we can do in Bangalore or something like that. But to our greatest surprise, we found that, see, that time ISKCON in Bangalore meant Madhu Pandit and his temple. Nothing else was there. I mean, that was one big project. It went away. But, a handful of us stayed back with Guru Maharaj, and then, I wasn't one among them. I was still with Madhu Pandit for a year and a half, or maybe even 2 years after the Ritvik thing started, before I rejoined ISKCON. I was with Madhu Pandit even after the Ritvik thing started. But, to our surprise, we found that even after 99% of what was ISKCON in Bangalore then went out of ISKCON and became an independent center, etc. I remember when I was kind of rejoining ISKCON, we had meeting with Guru Maharaj and different things happened. But to our absolute surprise, we found that Guru Maharaj still speaking about the same vision. There's potential. We should have multiple centers. We can have hundreds of devotees. We can have many centers. We can make many people devotees. People here pious. ISKCON was practically zero at that time, the early years after Madhu Pandit broke away. But he would still speak the same language. To us, it was like a very transcendental thing. Not one day has he expressed his disappointment or sadness or, so much effort I was there, so much I did, so much I helped, so much I canvassed for him, so much I protected him. Nothing. Not one day I have heard him say one bitter thing about Madhu Pandit. On the other hand, he was all encouragement for us. He's saying, we should do, we can try, we should grow, we can grow. We were operating in a godown, in a cement godown, in one tiny corner of the city. And Madhu Pandit had a project on 7 acres hillock in the most prominent part of the city. But he didn't show any, and he had to stay in houses of disciples, different times, different people's houses, small, tiny places they had, whatever they could manage, they would offer him. But not once since that time has Guru Maharaj ever spoken with either bitterness or sadness or anger or um, whatever. He says he's gone, that's his choice. What can we do? But that's about all. I remember one time when we built the first Radha Krishna temple under official ISKCON, what is now known as the Narasimha Giridhari Mandir. I know how many of you have come to Bangalore. Have you seen this temple, or even probably some of you would have heard about this temple, Narasimha Giridhari Mandir, which is there in Bangalore, the Radha Krishna temple. Thank you, Krishna and Prabhu. So there was a time when I had to go to Calcutta and go to Mayapur, and I had to meet Guru Maharaj because we wanted Guru Maharaj to give us a name for the deities before the actual installation. But I tried convincing him, saying that, I'm going to make brochures. I'm going to, the first Radha Krishna temple that's coming up after we split from Madhu Pandit. We're going to make brochures. We need to raise the money required. And so I need, if it is okay with you, can we have the name? So I'll put saying it, instead of just saying the Radha Krishna temple project, then I'll even give a name. I'll tell what is the name of the deities. So I tried to persuade Guru Maharaj to give us the name. And then we were sitting in his room. He said, can I see the picture of the deities? I showed him the picture of the deities. Very cute, very, very beautiful. Radharani is in a dancing posture like that. Some mudra in her hand. Guru Maharaj pointed it out immediately and he said, she has a mudra. She has a special mudra. It's a dancing mudra. And then he said, because Radharani is dancing. Oh yeah, Abhay said I visited. Thank you, Abhay. So, dancing mudra. And Guru Maharaj said, because she's in a dancing posture, Krishna will never leave her. He'll always be there with you. So then we were thinking of different names. He asked me, can you tell me the names of all the deities in South India that I've installed? And I gave him a long list. Then he asked me how many of them are white Krishna, black Krishna, whatever, different things I gave him. Then as we were talking, I said, Guru Maharaj, how about Radha Madhusudana? And Guru looked at me very inquiringly. I said, Guru Maharaj, there's a Madhu demon in Bangalore. Madhusudana means killer of the Madhu demon. I think that would be a very appropriate name, Guru Maharaj. Here is Krishna coming to kill the Madhu demon. I thought that was a great joke, Honestly, I thought it was a great joke. I said that and laughed a little bit. Then I saw Guru Maharaj's expression change. He didn't say anything. And then, he has a way of telling people that, hey, he has this whole, what is the right word? I can't think of the right word. He has his whole way of communicating without speaking. That's all I can say. He communicates when he communicates, sometimes he talks. He does sometimes by not talking. So he just didn't say anything. He just switched off for a while, stopped looking at me. I could see there was something that I said that upset him. I'm dull-headed, you see. I'm very dull-headed, actually. I just couldn't figure out. I was telling myself, I thought that was a great joke. The Madhusudana, killer of the Madhu demon. And here's this big demon, goes by the same name in Bangalore. And it took me a long time to understand, maybe this is not what is Guru Maharaj's mood. Then, he spoke a few other things with me, but he didn't come back to this topic of the names for the deities. Then after some time, I kind of went to him and apologized to him. I said, Guru Maharaj, I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Guru Maharaj, thank you for correcting me. Like you feel towards Madhu Pandit, I'll try and change my feeling also. I'll also try and pray for him. Wish him well. He's done great service to ISKCON and whatever the movement of Lord Chaitanya. I'll pray for him. I'll wish him well. And I'll intensely pray that he also comes back to ISKCON. And we're all together again. We're serving Srila Prabhupada nicely together. And I won't carry any bitterness in my heart towards him, or I won't ridicule him or make fun of him. Guru, it is then that Guru Maharaj looked at me, and he didn't say anything much, but he kind of looked at me very approvingly. And there was this, his face kind of relaxed when I said that. Then he said something like, it happened years back, but he said something like, that's better. It's better to have such feelings. Something like that he said. But that incident kind of just went so deep into my heart that look at this person. There's no word that Madhu Pandit has not used against him, no weapon that he has not used. He weaponized everything against Guru Maharaj. But here is this person who doesn't share or doesn't have even the slightest trace of bitterness or anger or vengeful feeling or revengeful, nothing. So all right, for whatever reason, it was as per Krishna's plan that he had to go away, he went. But I wish him well. And I'm grateful for the service that he has done to Prabhupada, and maybe grateful for the service he's continuing to do in his own way. But if he does actually come back, that'll be nice. If we can all reunite and serve like before, that would be nice. But otherwise, that's between him and Krishna, but I will not wish him ill. So Guru Maharaj taught us many things, sometimes by speaking, but sometimes by not speaking. So I don't know what to say. I'm just hoping that I'll continue to learn. Every time I interact with him, there's always something to take home. They say, no, take away. What is the takeaway from this? There's always something you can take away. Every time you interact with him. I've interacted a few times. I've not been, whatever, some little mercy he has shown towards me. So I've interacted a few times. There's not been a time when I didn't walk back with some lesson in my heart about him. So I'm very grateful to all of you for giving me a chance to remember my Guru Maharaj in this mood. I want to thank Krishna and Prabhu again. And if any of you come to Bangalore, you're welcome to visit our temple. I'll be very happy to take you around. And maybe we can share a few more stories about Guru Maharaj's amazingly sweet pastimes. Amazingly sweet pastimes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, somebody wants to comment or something? We have a few more minutes to go. I don't know if any of these actually meant anything to you, but I carry these memories very strongly in my heart. The three Leelas that I narrated.
What can I say? It's very hard to explain in words. It's heart-touching. It's a lot to learn from Guru Maharaj. A lot to learn. And thank you so much for sharing those, especially those very confidential, wonderful, memorable moments. A lot to learn. A lot to improve.
Sudipto, thank you. Thank you for comments. All right. So if anybody has questions, I'd like to. Otherwise,
go ahead. If anyone has questions, comments, please.
Prabhu, I just have one comment, Prabhu. Thank for sharing the pastimes. The one thing caught my attention is you're such a hearty laugh, Prabhu. I think it's come deepest shores of your heart. I think you've captured it is in your heart that your laughter is so hearty.
I'm not so sure about that, but I'll take that as your blessing. I'll take that as your blessing for me. Thank you. Bye. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a comment and a question. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Oh yeah, I can.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for finding time for us from your busy schedule and talking about your Guru Maharaj. I really am amazed to hear that how still he remembers the way you mentioned, and I was like meditating. That kind of is telling me that he's constantly remembering his time with Prabhupada. That's why probably after 40 years he's still
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
sure.
I think I missed. So what name Guru Maharaj put for those deities? I know you suggested.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that part of the detail I forgot. So Guru Maharaj gave the name Gandharvika Giridhari.
Oh, Jai. Haribol.
Yeah, and then he said, "I'm not going to use this name in any other temple. The only time I use this name is for your temple." I don't know why he said that, but he said that.
Haribol. Thank you so much.
Gandharvika Giridhari. You should look up. Many people say they're extremely beautiful.
Yeah. And what's the name of the temple, Prabhu?
Sri Narsimha Giridhari Mandir, SNGM we call it. We also have Narsimha deities. Narsimha Giridhari Mandir. Or you can just search ISKCON Temple, Bangalore Goshala, because we are a temple that's attached to a Goshala.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. I appreciate your appreciation.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Quickly do it. Prabhu is very busy, so it's very hard to get Prabhu's time. Okay.
Thank you for saying that.
General instruction, Prabhu. We can share Guru Maharaj general instruction as a disciple, as a practitioner, how he wants us to conduct things, and individually or then when we come together in a temple setting, we can give one or two instructions on what you have seen that will help so that we all can try to improve.
I don't think I'm qualified to instruct, but I'll be more than happy to share what I've learned.
Yeah.
Share what I've learned from my most amazing, glorious Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Krishna. Thank you very much, each one of you. I hope we'll meet again. I really hope we can meet again. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.